Good morning, everyone. Since I'm no longer working as a barista at the moment, I thought that I could show some people how to use a Stove Top Espresso Maker. This might be a good way for people who are self-isolated to make their own delicious coffee at home. I'm just using these Gloria Jeans beans. They're pre-ground, so I don't have to worry about that. And because they're caramel flavored, they're really easy to brew. You're not likely to get a bad tasting coffee as a result. Now, the first thing you have to do is unscrew the top half from the bottom half of your stovetop espresso maker. And then you want to fill the bottom half with water, but you don't want to go above the little hole in the side. I think it's like for pressure or for the hot air to escape. Anyway, then you want to fill the basket, that's what this bit is called, with coffee grind. Now, you can fill it all the way up to the top, which I read online people recommend to do, but I find that it makes the coffee really strong, and if you're the only one that's going to be drinking the espresso, and you're going to drink all of it like I do, then you probably want to put a little bit less in so that the espresso isn't as strong. That way you can drink all the liquid, but you're not getting like a really strong espresso. Unless you want that, that's fine. After that, you want to screw it all back together and you want to go over to your stove and put it on top. I have this really big bad boy stove that runs on gas. It's a little bit scary, so I'm not going to turn it up too high. I'm not sure what I can recommend for temperature on other people's stoves, but just, don't put it too high or too low. You want it to boil the water, but not boil too fast and potentially burn your espresso. So you want to wait until it's boiled, and then you'll see that the coffee will start to come out of this little hole here when it's brewing. It's really magic. It like sucks the espresso up and puts it into the top half so you can pour it out. So we're just going to leave this to boil, and I'll show you when it's boiling what it looks like. Okay, so here you can see how it's all coming out of that little hole, and we're just going to wait till it fills up, and then we're going to remove it from heat and drink it. Alright, be really careful when you take it off of the heat that you don't burn yourself. And for some reason mine always just spills everywhere. But we're going to fill my cup with the espresso, or if you're sharing, split it evenly. An espresso shot is normally 30 mils if you wanted to measure, so you're getting like the correct amount of espresso, though I can't comment on whether or not it's of the same, well, it won't be of the same quality as if you went to a cafe, but I can't say if it's the same strength as an espresso made through a machine. But anyway, you can just experiment with what you enjoy in the flavor. I also like to add some honey to my coffee. This is just some Manuka honey I got from Woolies, which is really good for your immune system at the moment too, and it's a better alternative to sugar. Now, you don't have to add milk or honey to your espresso. You could just drink it like this, but I'm also going to add some milk now because I like to have a nice, delicious, comforting, milky coffee. Now we're just going to put this to the side. I don't recommend that you try and wash it right now while it's hot. I'm just going to put it in the sink and let it cool down. Don't run cold water over it, because I've been told before about with pans that if you take them straight from the heat and you put cold water on them, that it can warp them. So I've just been exercising that caution with my stovetop espresso maker as well, because it's rather expensive. I got it on sale, and I don't want to warp it at all. Now I'm just going to make myself some breakfast while I wait for it to cool down. I could have had a healthy cereal, I could have had something way healthier, but I'm gonna have Cocoa Pop Chex today because it's my first day unemployed and I feel like eating Cocoa Pops Chex. Gotta keep self-care happening. Now when you're washing it, you have to be really careful to unscrew the top half again and then you want to remove the grinds. What you can do with the grinds is you can put them in the bin, or you could keep them and put them in a jar and later add some like raw sugar and coconut oil, and you can create your own coffee scrub, which, you know, that's always nice. You can get coconut oil if it's too expensive from Woolies. You can try and find a bulk whole food supplier, which I have one in my town. I think there's a few, but that whole food place is really good for buying cheap bulk things like this. You can also get like apple cider vinegar, which you can use to make toners and other things like that. I wouldn't recommend putting this in the dishwasher. I normally just give it a really good rinse, and then I get some paper towel and I wipe out all of the oily residue from the beans. This is just because I don't want to damage the seal or damage and warp any of my espresso maker in my dishwasher, and I wouldn't want to probably wash it with soap maybe once a month, but it's just full of boiling water normally, so maybe I'm gross, I don't know. And there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed your delicious homemade espresso, and I hope that this helped you if you had purchased one of these and you weren't too sure on the best way to go about making your coffee, or maybe these tips just helped you out a little bit. Maybe there was something that I explained that you weren't too sure about. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Lunaticus to see more about my life and what I do. I also have an art account called Lunaticus Art where I post little doodles and art that I'm working on. I do some commission pieces which you can check out over there, and I hope that you have a fantastic day. Bye!